Hey guys, I was wondering if we could have a conversation on racial whitening and the elimination of the black race. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video and someone dropped a comment. I'm not sure which video. It's either one of these two videos. I tried looking for the comments, but I could not find it. What happened was I did save the comment because I intended to make a video on it, which I'm doing now. But the comment was on the phone I was using before and my phone got stolen, like most of you know. So I lost the comments. I really wanted to put the comments up on the screen as I was making the video, but I can't find the comments anymore. So I'm guessing maybe the person deleted the comments, or maybe I really did not look as hard enough as I thought I was looking for the comment. But bottom line, I do not have the comment. So what the comment said was basically, if we want to get rid of racism, we all have to mix up. Like, we all have to mix up and then make mixed babies, and that's how we get rid of racism. When everybody's mixed up, we would not have anybody to be racist towards anymore, so that eventually nobody's going to be black or white anymore. Everybody's just going to be like the same. So when I saw that comment, I immediately remember 2018 when a South African artist did make a similar comment on Twitter. I think his mixed artist name is Aka, or AKA. I think it's called AKA. I say Aka. So he literally made the same comments 2018 and he got a lot of backlash for it. So for this conversation, I want us to talk about this whole, for us to get rid of racism, we have to all mix up. Mixing up to get rid of racism, I feel that comes from a place of, okay, blackness is the problem. Let's lighten you up so that you can be better enough for discrimination to stop. When people literally make this kind of comments, they are saying, let's lighten the dark people up so they would be acceptable. Like, your blackness is a problem. If we lighten you up, you are going to be less of a problem. We need to get rid of blackness for there to be peace. I don't know how you see it, but that's how I'm seeing it. I mean, how else am I supposed to see this? Let me know down below in the comment section what you feel. They might not necessarily consciously be saying in their minds that blackness is the problem, but the logic behind it, I feel, is that blackness is the problem. Let's lighten blackness up and get rid of blackness. When we get rid of blackness, we get rid of the problem. That's how I say it, but feel free to disagree. This is a free space. We are free thinkers here. Everybody's free to have their opinions. Let me know down below what you think. If you feel contrary, if you feel differently, it's fine. And I know some people are going to say, well, when people mix up, eventually if this happens and everybody mixes up, they are still going to get rid of the white race. And yes, that's true. If eventually this happens and everybody mixes up, the white race is still going to be lost as well. It's not just the black race that's going to be lost. Yeah, because when people mix up and they make kids, the kids are black and white. They're a mixture of both worlds, you understand? And my point in this conversation is the white race itself is not the problem. When I say the white race is not the problem, I'm not talking about the individual white person or white people. I'm saying the race as a whole. The skin color is not the problem. Same way the black race is not the problem. The skin color, black people, like the skin blackness, is not the problem. What the problem is the mindset of people. And I feel like we need to be focusing on changing people's mindsets rather than focusing on just, I don't know, making everybody into one race. Is that even going to be possible? Because when we're talking about like racial whitening now, are we saying racial whitening with just black people, or we're going to racial whiten everybody? Are you saying now the Indians as well, the darker skinned Indians are going to have to do some, I don't know, racial whitenings as well? Are you saying indigenous people in like Australia, for example, and every other places where we have indigenous people that have, you know, darker complexion, are they all going to whiten out or whiten up as well? And if you think about this thing deeply, you are telling every melanated people, every dark-skinned people, if that's what they are saying, for peace to reign, for everybody to coexist, even though I feel it won't work, if that's what you're saying, meaning you are telling every melanated person, every darker complected person or race to like mix up, let's get rid of the darkness and let's make everybody white or lighter for peace to reign. I just personally feel that's a wrong approach to be going about fighting racism or thinking of solutions to racism, because really, if we are going to be honest here, humans are going to be humans. And humans, if we know about humans as much as we do, we know that humans look for means to discriminate. And I don't feel racial whitening is going to do any good when it comes to discrimination, because at the end of the day, if we make everybody to look alike, which I'm not sure how that's going to, like, how are we going to make everyone look alike at the end of the day? Is that even possible? Meaning you are going to, is that, I don't know. Okay, if black and white mix, for example, now we have biracials that are mixtures of black and white. How are the black and white biracials now going to mix with the Arabs? How is every single race going to mix up for us to have that one piece? I personally do not feel that mixing up is going to solve anything, because if black and whites mix up, for example, and then we have biracials, so now we've gotten rid of black people, we've gotten rid of white people, we now have mixed people who are still going to be like different from Arabs, different from Asians, different from Hispanics, different from like other races. And then I still feel like there's going to be discrimination, because discrimination springs from differences. There is still going to be that difference. That's why you see that even from a race where everybody is the same, people discriminate themselves within the race. They find other things to discriminate themselves with. People think racism, sometimes they only think about like black and white and all that, because that's like, I would say the most, should I say popular? That's weird to say, but that's like the most let's just say popular, even though it's weird, you understand? But then there are other races. Are we thinking about the other races and how this group of people now is going to have to deal with other races as well? Or do you think that when we just get rid of black and white, every other race is just going to be so loving and so accepting all of a sudden? No, that's not going to happen. Getting rid of the white race or getting rid of the black race is not going to create this utopia we're thinking about when we drop this kind of comments. It really would not create that kind of utopia. Am I just saying utopia instead of utopia? Jesus Christ. So instead of us to be thinking about how we're going to be getting rid of the white race or the black race, we should be thinking about how to get rid of the stupid, backward, ignorant mindset of people. The problem is up here. What we're supposed to be doing is talking about how can we get rid of the madness that's going up here in some people's mind. I personally do not even believe that when you mix everybody up, that's going to end all form of discrimination. So now to the part 2 of this video. I was watching a video by Cynthia G here on YouTube, and she was talking about how biracials are going to be the new oppressors for black men, and I think she meant like black people in general. So I'm going to play the video for you guys so you guys can see, and I want you guys to drop me your opinions down below in the comment section, what you think.
When they create mixed children, are they really erasing whiteness, or are they really creating white supremacists with the tan? CNN came out with this article in September, and it's literally titled White Supremacy with the Tan. And they're talking about how you have basically struggle bandits running around here talking about, oh, they number declining. It gonna be mid people. All it gonna be is black and brown, and they not gonna have no power. We gonna weed them out. We gonna get rid of them. All you gotta do is put a mixed baby and a white woman, and then you not gonna have no white people no more. Yeah, no. I want to read some of this article. It says, when people of no color are no longer a majority, racism will fade and the U.S. will never be a white country again. This is a misconception that a lot of black people have. It says this myth was reinforced recently when the U.S. Census 2020 report revealed that people who identify as white alone declined for the first time since the census began in 1790. The majority of Americans under 18 are now people of color, and people who identify as multiracial increased by 276% over the last decade. If black men, by the way of creating biracial children, and I'm saying black men because most biracial people have a black father, if they were actually creating black people, then this would say people who identify as black increased by 276%. It wouldn't say people who identify as multiracial. Multiracial is not black. So if the multiracial community is increasing and the black community is not, that should tell you that black man's math just ain't mathing. But of course they don't know what math is because they don't even know what basic biology is. So why would we think that they would have a working concept of math? The year has been depicted as a countdown to the white apocalypse and dreadful news for white supremacists. So basically, they're telling you that's not going to happen. It says whiteness is elastic. White supremacy isn't just more resilient than many assume, it's also elastic. Consider how whiteness has been defined. It's a prime example of how white supremacy adapts. The census suggests that people of no color will be a minority by 2045, but as several commentators have already noted, the data can easily be postponed. Whiteness isn't a fixed identity, it's like taffy. It expands to accommodate new members if they have the right look. It says, but the explosive growth of Americans who now identify as multiracial could also be used to reinforce racial inequality. How? It depends on how we check the box. During his first term in office, Obama made headlines when he marked his race as African American. He could have checked some other race. Now, mind you, it benefited him mostly to check that he's black, although he's not because he comes from the womb of a non-black woman. So basically what they're telling you is what I've been saying, is that black men are creating their next group of oppressors, and nothing is going to change for you just because you run out here and create all of these so-called black people who don't identify as black, don't look black, don't have a black phenotype, and really align with the sentiments more of a person of no color. And so black women really need to understand what's going on here and stop co-signing it. I don't have a problem with biracial people. I actually think it's sad that they have to keep coming on here and saying these things because black people want to live in this delusion that somehow they're creating black people through the womb of women of no color.